Welcome back to the Glaziar Gamble podcast. We have spoopy season coming to us, and what better way to start spooky season with Agatha all along, witches, covens, licking blood off of hands. But yeah, first two episodes of Agatha all along are out, which is an extension of WandaVision in a sense, but really, so it's its own thing. It's really surprising, actually, that they've expanded to point out more so of what's to come, more than referencing what's happened in the past, which is awesome. I'm glad that they didn't rely too much on, well, this happened in WandaVision, blah, 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 blah.
Sure.
No.
I've been glad they did reference it a little bit, kind of show what's been happening with Agnes over the I think 3 years. 3 years, I believe, is what she said in regards to how long she was like in that trance.
That curse that Wanda puts on her in the finale.
Right. So 3 years from that day.
She still has no powers.
Correct.
But it was, they really bared everything for her soul.
They bared a lot.
They bared a lot. Yes. I mean, we've said it before this, when the show was announced, we have an episode about it. We've talked about how we weren't sure where it was going to go, who we wanted to see, what we wanted to see. Expectations were really low for most people, but even if your expectations weren't low, I think these first two episodes excelled past it.
I agree. I've seen a lot of, and we get this, right? Like the people get to see the episodes prior, right? Like media members or influencers, stuff like that. And a lot of people, whether they are positive Marvel influencers or negative, or if they're not even related to Marvel at all, is they give their take, and then the community, whether they want to like it or don't want to give it a chance or want to give it a chance, they base their opinion directly on that. You saw that with the Marvels in regards to everyone just dogging it.
Right.
And it was it's stereotypical to this show. It's a female-led project.
Sure.
And you see that, and then all of a sudden it gets released on Disney Plus, and everyone's like, wait a second, this is actually pretty good. And so you got a little taste of that with Agatha all along, where you've got the media members and the fans that follow those media members, basically just trashing the show. Like, here we go, it's another show we don't need. Like, it's just them pushing something. And the first two episodes come out, and it's been received very well, not only by critics and by fans. So.
Yeah, I have a shirt for the occasion. It says
I can't see it, but I'm going to.
You are now witnessing greatness.
Okay.
And
I'm wearing a Timberwolves shirt, so.
I was like, what? I need a shirt that references, like, it feels very Agatha. So I was going to go like either pure black, a purple shirt, or I was like, you know what? I was so surprised at how good these first two episodes were. I'm going to wear my greatness shirt.
Sure.
The first episode, when it was over, I was like, it hasn't been 40-something minutes already. Like, it feels like it was over so quick. I was like, I must have enjoyed that, because I thought that was quick. And like, I've been a Catherine Hahn fan for a while, especially because of, Parks and Rec, but she's been in so many things. She's played such a wide variety of roles. And she really showed a large variety of talents in this first two, and that there's still so much more to come. I'm not sure we could see more, but really, no, like in the beginning when she had like her accent, she was very masculine and like. Right. It was so strange. I was like, what happened to her character? Right. I was like, what's going on? And then obviously, it's like she's still in this like curse.
And she was she was the interaction with Aubrey Plaza's character throughout that first episode, like you could tell that and Aubrey Plaza's character also could, that there was hints of her like realizing that something's not like it doesn't seem right. And so, like, Wanda and all her power, like compared to Agatha and all her power, like there was something that wasn't like the knot wasn't tied all the way because there was still some loopholes in that like that curse, I guess.
Right. It felt very Inception, like where Aubrey Plaza Rio was Rio, right?
Rio Vidal, yeah, I think
was, you know, why do you hate me? Like couldn't straight up say you're in a curse, like clearly couldn't say that sort of thing, and was having to make Agatha realize it herself.
Right.
It was a very cool way to do it, and then obviously she sheds every layer of her current curse, and then she goes back like each decade that was in WandaVision all the way back to her black and white, and then she takes that off too, and she's naked for a scene.
Yeah, she realized she's not in the morgue or whatever, the coroner's office.
Right.
Realizes she wasn't there. She was just in her house believing all of this.
Yep.
So yeah, and then she's naked for 5 minutes.
A scene and a half, and then she fights Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
It's none of that is really spoilers. None of it is. I mean, so you should go see it if you haven't seen it yet. Stop this video, go watch it. Honestly, it's so good. You can come back and watch this. That'd be even better. But it was such a good first couple episodes. I was talking about it with my wife, and she wants to watch it, and I told her I will watch them again. It was so good.
Yeah.
And I haven't looked to see the internet reaction just because I don't like my opinion being swayed, especially before we record. So I don't know how people reacted to the song. The song from the show, that version is not on Spotify, but there's a orchestra version.
Sure.
I listened to the one on Spotify. I prefer the one from the show.
Sure.
But I really enjoyed that song. Like I was like, I'm gonna listen to this tomorrow, but it wasn't on. I really liked it. The Road is what I'm referring to for those who don't know.
Right. The Witch's Road song.
Yeah, it was
the ballad, the Witch's Road ballad.
Oh man, I was surprised at how much I liked it. I was surprised at how creepy Aubrey Plaza's character was able to portray it. Not even surprised in her abilities, because Aubrey Plaza's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, this is a completely original character. Aubrey Plaza's character is. It's probably based off a bunch of things, but yeah, she's I believe said or speculated that this is one of the stronger characters. I mean, obviously there's like the Thors and Scarlet Witches, and she's not probably going to touch those levels, but I mean, for the show, she's probably one of the stronger powered characters. So it's cool to see that and see a little bit of what she can do.
So we've talked about Catherine Hahn. We've talked about Aubrey Plaza. There's other actors in this show already that are awesome. Like Patti LuPone is already in this. That she is a very decorated actor in plays. And then the teen.
Yeah, Joe Locke's character.
Joe Locke. We don't know his character's name. He is absolutely killing it.
Yeah, he's doing really good. I love the direction they took with his character, because it's a lot of the kind of social media and like the outfits and what he's wearing, how he's acting is very similar and right on kind of where we are right now. So
before we get into like the weeds of him, I do want to point out, so one thing that like you've mentioned with him, he like acting younger. One thing a lot of younger people, which obviously Disney wants to pull in, Marvel wants to pull in the younger people, because the younger audience, you can pull in the more longevity you can create for your product. One thing the most generations care about inclusivity, but the younger generation is much more vocal than ever before. And Aubrey Plaza has been super proud of her Hispanic heritage. She's gotten to speak Spanish already. The show has been touted as the gayest Marvel project yet. Aubrey Plaza said, I wouldn't have signed up for it if it wasn't. They've had some, like, nothing is, for those of you that for some whatever reason, whether you don't believe in it for religious person, anything, there is nothing that has been in your face yet to make you that you should feel uncomfortable, and they're still proudly showing inclusivity. I just wanted to throw that for the young people, for the older people, for whatever side of whatever anything. There is so much you can enjoy.
A lot of people.
So
you said earlier in regards to I don't want to get things influenced, people's opinions. A lot of people, and this is just, in my opinion, this is just them trying to find a reason to make it sick or hated or disturbing or why. There's you see a little hand bone right here. Hey, buddy.
I can't see you, but yeah.
You can't see him, but you'll see him. He's looking up here. Hi, bud. Hi. When Catherine Hahn is when she's out in her yard and she's buck ass naked.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my gosh, they're having the daughter comes out and is looking, right?
Yeah.
And the parents are looking, and
the daughter turns around.
Yeah, the daughter laughs and it looks shocked, and the mom comes over and covers her eyes, and she's trying to pull the mother's hand away. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, this young teen is checking her out. And I was like, you guys are ridiculous, man.
That is ridiculous.
She's a young teen seeing a very, very outrageous event. And so she's she finds it humorous, or she's I can't believe.
She's probably interacted with too. So it's she knows her.
Right. And she's probably just I did not expect, this is crazy. And she finds it humorous or kind of off the wall.
Yeah.
And so that is what I believe that she's doing. It's not Marvel trying to be sick and force a minor to see. That's
side note
ridiculous
on that,
in regards to that.
Congratulations, Catherine Hahn. If that's not a body double, you look phenomenal. But now back into the weeds. Joe Locke's weeds of the story. Joe Locke, they've had some moments where they've asked him some details, information, his name,
your name,
how long he's been there, backstory, where'd you come from, all this stuff. When he was given his backstory, Agatha couldn't hear him.
She muted him, muted out,
or tinnitus. Right. Where just ears ringing. She turned the music up, could hear the music just fine, couldn't hear him talk. Asked him his name. His lips got completely covered, which they did that for the show, but also
with the trailer,
for the fans, because the fans would totally try to read the words, the mouth.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we're not even going to let you speculate, which I loved. But I texted you this. I don't know if this is what it was supposed to be, but it looks like a cursive or calligraphy letter M to me.
Yeah, so I mean, or a W, right? It's like a squiggle, right? So it's W and M. They want you to think it's either Wanda or Maximoff or William. I mean
it's or William, Mephisto,
right? Or Mephisto, because technically, if you follow the comics at all, I mean, Billy and Tommy are reincarnated with Mephisto's essence, so that they can. And
I feel like this is clearly Wiccan.
Yeah, but it's Billy. I mean, it's Billy Kaplan, but it's Billy Maximoff at the same time. But Billy Kaplan is his name.
Billy Kaplan is the reincarnated Billy Maximoff.
Right, exactly. And Tommy,
a piece of Mephisto.
Tommy, whatever is Speed. So yeah, it's just. I don't know. I think it's doing a great job, and if it is Wiccan,
it's got to be.
Wiccan is crazy strong too. He's just kind of in his beginning stages, but he's also
able to
crazy
break Wanda's
strong.
Curse without powers.
Yeah. And I'm sure he has a little bit, kind of, but you've never really seen him kind of magic yet. But I'm sure he's got a little something. He's probably got a little something. He's just trying to get through the witch's road to maybe enhance that, enhance his powers.
Yeah, he wants to go down the witch's road, down the witch's road.
Right, exactly. So,
I mean, I think so. I know it's the meme now, but I think it was an M because of Mephisto. I do think it is reincarnated Billy into Billy
Kaplan, right?
Because, you know, for those who aren't super familiar, in the comics, Billy Maximoff is reincarnated with a piece of Mephisto to create Wiccan.
Yeah, and I mean, Agatha and Mephisto have been connected in the comics for I don't know how long. She probably knows of Mephisto.
And it's the dark.
We just haven't, right? We haven't gotten to that point yet. The Witch's Road could be leading to hell. Like who knows?
Right. And Mephisto's a big bad.
Yeah, and Mephisto is supposedly going to be in Ironheart, where it's going to be kind of tech versus magic. Sacha Baron Cohen is supposedly rumored as Mephisto, so
he'd be very good. He's good.
He would be very good. Yeah. So
another person who can sing and is a good, like, if they want to keep it musical, if they want, it just fits so perfect. If Sacha Baron Cohen, even for the finale. But
well, yeah, and I mean Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto, like you start him off in a very minor role in Ironheart, and then all of a sudden he's a major role for a Ghost Rider. So it's like, it's just,
and Mephisto would have to be one of those, not like obviously not to the level of Doom and Thanos, but Mephisto is a big bad.
Oh, you got like this whole Midnight Suns too. Like the Midnight Suns need a big bad, so
you don't want them in just one thing. I think we've talked about that a few times now. There are villains that you can have be one shots. That's
Whiplash,
right? You know,
Ironmonger. Those are both Iron Man villains, but
well, and a lot of Spider-Man villains like Rhino can be a one shot.
Right.
In my opinion, Scorpion can be a one shot.
Sure.
Yeah. There's villains that can be, and then there's villains that deserve their time. MODOK can be a one shot.
Right.
You know,
Ultron shouldn't be, but
Ultron probably shouldn't be. That's why you had to bring him back for What If
Yeah.
But I mean, there are some that should get at least 2 projects.
Right.
What's his name from Secret Invasion? That guy, fine being a one shot.
Right.
But speaking of Secret Invasion, we wanted Hulkling in Secret Invasion.
Yeah, something along the lines that something just even saying that like Kree and Skrulls are at peace and getting together, shacking up, whatever you said, like that.
But they revealed Scar instead of Hulkling.
Yeah, and well, that was in She-Hulk too. But
that was in She-Hulk, yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I mean Hulkling. They gave you a little bit because like Joe Locke's character gets a phone call from
his boyfriend.
Yeah. So, they hint that, which is perfectly fine because it's
gay in the comics.
Yeah, it's canonically right.
Is Hulkling.
Yeah, like people getting upset that they're like, oh, they're forcing that down our throats. It's like, no, a canonically or a gay actor. Yeah. A gay actor is playing a canonically gay character, so oh my gosh.
Oh no. A gay character was written as gay, being portrayed by a gay actor. Oh, it's the end of the world. Every kid that watches this is going to be gay now.
That's ridiculous.
It is very ridiculous. I mean, he has been a bright point, and it's been 2 episodes in a character that is teasing so much, and just a power level. Wiccan is freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, probably the strongest Young Avenger, which if we get Young Avengers, he's going to be god tier compared to them.
Right, so depending on what version of the Young Avengers, it's Wiccan, and then
Miss Marvel. I mean, Miss Marvel's pretty strong.
What's his name?
Franklin.
I think Franklin's the strongest in my mind. So it's...
Well, yeah, we'll see what iteration we get, but I mean, like, if you're Young Avengers, I mean, you got Miss Marvel, you got Kate Bishop, you probably got like Cassie Lang and Dominique Thorne's Riri Williams. So like you got a bunch of
seem like comic relief. It's sad.
Yeah, she doesn't get her. Smart. You're right. You haven't got her moment yet. So like you got 4 females, you got to get some males in there, whether that's Wiccan and Speed, whether that's Wiccan and Hulkling. Like, you got to get some males.
I want Wiccan and Hulkling, but they've missed that opportunity with both with Secret Invasion and they missed
the Marvels.
Kind of overlooked it already,
right? So,
but that's what I would have wanted.
Sure,
I think obviously Tom
Spider-Man's too big for that. So.
Yeah, exactly. He's too big. There's a couple that would fit it, but they might be like thought of, but they don't really fit. Like, in my opinion, Shuri and Echo don't really fit the Young Avengers.
Right. Echo shouldn't, because she kills people, but
Echo's great, and she's so much stronger than the comic version.
Right. Right.
But, that being said, Wiccan's sick, Joe Locke is sick, Catherine Hahn did amazing, Aubrey Plaza did amazing, creepy as hell, super awesome, and I genuinely got scared during one part of the show, which was something I was hoping for, but I didn't expect this soon. But yeah, the Coven 7 or whatever.
Yeah, the wolf 7. The wolf that turned into the wraith-like people
that turned into 7 people. Yeah, that was the Salem 7, which is apparently a group of extremely powerful witches.
Sure.
Or they kill witches. And so I know it's part. There are certain sounds that are supposed to trigger fear responses. That's why all those same sounds are used in horror movies. Silence can have a similar effect, but certain lighting, that's why horror movies do what they do to you.
Right.
One of the things that gets me pretty good is distorted bodies and crawling when it's a human. And when that girl was crawling down the stairs, I was watching it at midnight, and I'm like, I don't like it. As soon as she started thudding on the door, I could feel my heart rate increase.
Yeah.
And I was like, I get it. I'm a wuss who never watches horror, but that scared me. Dude. I was scared. Right. Then I was like, all right, that got me. I wonder.
It was very that creepy crawliness is very like Descent, like those bat people crawling over things. Yeah.
Yep. So a lot of horror movies, somebody who's possessed, their head turns, they crab walk.
Exorcism, very exorcism like.
Yeah, and it's you don't walk that way when you're just a human. So it's clearly something else is going on, and so you're like, what could it be? And it's that your mind creates it because it's not clear, and that's the scariest thing of all. That's what all good horror movies do, is let you scare yourself.
Right.
And that's what it definitely did that to me, because they didn't show what they looked like.
Right.
It was all cloaked. Yeah. There was a little bit of a face, but it looked like it was
it was like face-like. I mean, there you see the white eyes on the blackened.
Yeah. See, even talking about it gets me going a little bit. It's creepy. It's creepy. Right. So good time for it. Summer is officially over. So
it's supposed to be 80 something tomorrow, and then 70s here.
Yeah, today's on recording is fall equinox, so official last day of summer, official first day of fall.
Sure.
So, summer's over. It's spooky season. It's cuddle spooky. Up middle of the night with a blanket, piss yourself while you watch a show.
Yeah.
And that's what I think if they lean into that spookiness while they're on the road.
Right.
Oh. And then, so my one question, because, for the most part, I just kind of wanted to toot the horn, talk about how it could be Mephisto. We've covered most of what I wanted to talk about.
Sure.
My one question is, I'm blanking on her name. I tried to memorize it, but I lost it. The lady who plays the mom in that 70s show, who was in WandaVision.
Oh, sure, yeah. Mrs. Hart, we'll call her, even though her name's Mrs. That's what Wanda Agatha called her, Mrs. Hart, because that's who she was in the Curse, in Wanda's Curse. She was Miss Hart.
Do you think she's just there, or do you think she is a witch? Because you think that the Green Witch is actually Wiccan.
I think it's Rio.
Oh, you think it's Rio? Okay, I think it's Rio too. That's why it was.
I mean, Rio's a green witch. Like when she came to attack Agatha, she was on green. Like
right,
wearing green. She was green-esque.
She described herself as having. I do have a heart. It's a black heart that beats for you.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure there was a romance.
Heart.
There had to be a romance there, so the heart could have been like a former romance,
which is why she licked her blood, which was
And when Agatha put her hand around her neck, like Rio held her hand there, I was like, "You dirty, dirty girl."
Yeah. Plaza.
Right. So I think it's Rio. I think it's going to be something along the lines of they're going down the road and Rio's trying to stop them, or she's trying to get to the end of the road so that she can take all the powers or stuff like that. And then eventually she's going to realize that, oh, you guys need this to stop this. Yeah, she's going to realize. That's what I think is going to happen. But I also like when villains win.
Yeah.
So
villains have to win. Otherwise,
I also like when villains win, but I also don't think you can get Wiccan to be Wiccan without them winning. Sure. And so if it's
the villain doesn't have to win permanently. You know, if it's at the and then he died.
Right. If it's at the expense of all the other witches, the 3 other witches, that's in Agatha's coven, and Joe Locke gets those powers and Agatha gets those powers to kind of fight back, then I'm for that, because I think that pushes those stories along. Or even if it's Agatha gets the power and realize that she can save Joe Locke's character and she gives him all the power, like even that, and so she's like a martyr almost. But
they go through the whole thing because Aubrey Plaza and Patti LuPone lived together during the filming.
Sure.
So Patti LuPone's witch will make it at least to the end.
Right.
But she's cuckoo.
Yeah.
We don't know what
they all are a little bit. I mean, they all are a little, but
I mean sexist right now?
No. Nonsense.
They're cuckoo.
I think
they all are.
Yeah, they all are. No, I think I think it would be cool if Mephisto was at the end of it all. I was trying to think, like, maybe they are basing Rio Vidal's character, like, what's the thought I had, off of Satana. So it's like, there's like Hellstrom, Damon Hellstrom, and then Satana Hellstrom.
Sure. Okay.
And those are like fighters of Mephisto, or offspring of Mephisto, but they're related to Mephisto. And there was a whole Hulu series called Hellstrom or Hellstorm or something like that. But I was trying to think, maybe like she's playing a version of like Satana. That was my thought. But I don't know. I was trying to just figure out how I still think it's Mephisto related, because I don't think Wanda put a curse on some random kid and now that information can't be delivered to Agatha. But if Agatha and Mephisto did have a past, then, and I don't know, it's just it kind of all roads lead to Mephisto. You know what I mean?
Agatha was pretty focused on runes. Agatha and Wanda, WandaVision was. It could be that there is some sort of rune stopping Agatha from getting that information.
Yeah.
Which, if it's a rune, it could be straight up Mephisto related still.
Sure.
Which is why, it affects her. It's
right.
It could definitely be that. I mean, I'm reading a book series right now. One of the things that goes on that is that they have magic seals that stop you from, and so that's kind of where my mind's going.
Sure.
I definitely think it could be a rune of some kind.
But whoever led Joe Locke's character down this path wanted to hide that information from Agatha, but also wanted him to free Agatha.
Right.
So there's a reason. It's like, oh, why are they hiding that information? But also, why are they freeing it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like why at the same time of like why.
Well, I guess Rio wanted her freed so that she could kill her because she couldn't kill her while she was under the curse.
Right. But also like.
But then she didn't kill her anyway.
Killing her doesn't make her any stronger because you're not taking that power. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what Wanda or Agatha convinced her. So, yeah, I don't know. And if Rio thinks like wanted her free, then and Wiccan or Joe Locke does have some power, why didn't she just take that kid's power too? Like, sure. I don't know. There's a bunch of questions that we still need answered, obviously, in like 2 out of 9 episodes or whatever it is. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I thought they were very good.
Right.
Very good episodes.
I thought they were really good too. Way better than what I was expecting. It's awesome. It's so. If you
I'm very invested already. Good. For sure.
Oh, absolutely. And there's other good shows that are just coming out now. We're in a good time for TV shows. Like if you haven't seen Umbrella Academy final season yet, that's out. You got
The Penguin just released.
You got Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. Obviously, House of Dragon season 2 was last month or half ago.
Sure.
But like, there's a lot of time people don't catch up to streaming right away. So like, there's a lot to watch right now. It's very cool. If you have time, there's a lot of good stuff to watch. Which, been doing this the past couple weeks now, but I have a rec for those who are looking for maybe a show that's like out of the normal realm of what they might normally watch, but it's still a really good show. Good Omens on Amazon Prime. Season 1 was awesome. My wife and I have like 1 or 2 episodes left of season 2. Season 2 also been very, very good. The 2 main actors in it it's the guy who's played Doctor Who the longest.
Matt Smith?
No, it's the... What are their names? They're like people. They're best friends in real life. David Tennant.
No. Oh yeah, David Tennant. Yeah. The guy who played
and Michael Sheen.
Guy who played Kilgrave in Jessica Jones. Who Purple Man is what his comic name is, but basically whoever he says something to has to do what he says. So
yeah, well, it's
yeah, David Tennant's really good.
David Tennant and Michael Sheen, they're the 2 leads. David Tennant plays a demon. Michael Sheen plays an angel, and it is so good. And so, relating it back to the topic, this show was called Agatha all along was called the gayest show on streaming.
Sure.
Good Omens season 2 is the gayest show on streaming. But in a good way. Like it's just every character in the show seems pretty open sexually to whoever.
Sure.
I love it's been a really good show. So a little off the normal path
beaten
recommendation. Path. But the book,
a little off the witch's road.
The book Good Omens, very, very good. This is one of those times where my wife and I agree the show is actually better than the book.
Sure.
And then the author of the book wrote the show, and season 2 is completely original, but the author still created season 2 instead of writing a second book. It was it's very good, so highly recommend. In terms of Agatha, for those of you that have gotten to this point, do you have anything from this show that you want to occur by the end? Like, is there something you're waiting for, and are you okay waiting for it to the end, or is it something you want revealed sooner than later? That's my one question for you this time. Do you have any questions for the viewers, the listeners?
Who's the master? Who's the villain of this show? Who's the villain? Is it Agatha? Is Agatha really the villain? Is it Rio? Is it someone else? Is it one of the witches? Is it Mrs. Hart? Right. Is it Wanda? Who knows? Nobody knows. Oh. They also made you think that Jane Doe was like Wanda. Right off the
bat, did. It was Jane Doe's body was labeled as W. Maximoff.
Yeah.
Which Elizabeth Olsen just did an interview where she talked about Scarlet Witch, and this is the most she's talked about Scarlet Witch since the movie. So,
yeah, it was the little library tag that had who checked out the Darkhold last.
Yeah. People. That's the sort of thing that Disney, especially Marvel, especially, they do little things here and there that get it in the back of your mind rather than throwing it in your face.
Sure.
And Elizabeth Olsen doing an interview talking about Scarlet Witch, where you might not even have seen the interview, but you've talked about it, heard about it.
Right. So
that's exactly what Marvel wants.
So who's the villain? Who do you think the true villain of this show is? That's my question.
It's me. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching today. We appreciate you. Make sure you like, subscribe. We love you. And you look great today. GG.
Oh my God, cat hair.
Oh my God, cat hair.
Oh my God, it's still here.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you.